What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, reports have surfaced that former four-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia indeed had at least a two-fight plan for 2020 to face off against eight-division former world champion, legendary, iconic superstar boxer who currently is the WBA welterweight world champion, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Why is this important? Because legendary promoter, top ranked CEO and promoter who has a history with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia left top rank in not so good fashion, right? With that said, Bob Arum stated that his other fighter, undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion, superstar boxer Terence Bud Crawford, who is widely considered the number one pound-for-pound boxer in the world, had a deal in place to face off against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao November 14th, excuse me. But the fight fell through. It was supposed to take place over in Saudi Arabia, I believe, overseas. And due to the border health stepping in due to the pandemic and social distancing, they stepped in and said that they could not guarantee that fans will be allowed to attend. Thus, there would be no live gates, there would be no closed circuits, and there won't be enough money to pay the purses for a high-profile fight of this magnitude. So it wasn't going to go through. We know Manny Pacquiao has a history with Top Rank as well as Mikey Garcia, right? Manny Pacquiao stated that he would fight Terence Bud Crawford if they gave him $20 million. Bob Arum was not willing to pay that. He does not believe that Manny Pacquiao is worth $20 million. And Bob Arum also stated that he lost so much money on Terence Bud Crawford in his last three fights prior to facing off against Kell Brook, former IBF welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer, who is being reported to have replaced Manny Pacquiao for the November 14th date, and Terence Crawford stopped him in dramatic fashion in the fourth round. With that said, Bob Arum stated that he lost in the last three fights before Kell Brook fight for Terence Crawford. He lost so much money that he could build a mansion in Beverly Hills. So obviously, Bob Arum doesn't believe that Terence Crawford is worth the money, right? So he doesn't believe Manny Pacquiao is worth $20 to $25 million, as Bob Arum stated on numerous occasions that when Manny Pacquiao left Top Rank, signed with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, and advisor and founder Al Heyman, that he got paid $20 to $25 million to face former four-division world champion superstar boxer Adrian the Problem Bowler. And then he got about that amount to face former unified WBC, WBA welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman. So with that said, he said that he was happy he wasn't accountable for having to pay Manny Pacquiao such money. With that said, obviously Bob Arum does not believe that Manny Pacquiao is worth $20 million, but they continue to tell people, that being Bob Arum and Terence Crawford, that a deal was in place, and due to the Board of Health stepping in, the fight was not able to proceed. But Mikey Garcia alludes to the fact that he had a two-fight deal in place to fight Manny Pacquiao in 2020. A rematch clause obviously being the second fight should Manny Pacquiao lose to Mikey Garcia. But if Mikey Garcia is to lose to Manny Pacquiao, obviously Manny Pacquiao will go about his business and it would be on to the next. But obviously a rematch clause would make it a two-fight deal for Mikey Garcia. But that said, Mikey Garcia made $7 million on a one-fight deal to fight Jesse Vargas on the zone. So Mikey Garcia is making big money since he parted ways with Top Rank and Bob Arum, as many other fighters, legendary fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao, to say the least, right? So it makes it interesting. How could Terence Crawford have been, linked to fighting Manny Pacquiao November 14th, and Mikey Garcia himself was linked to fighting Manny Pacquiao around the same time? Now, there is reports that a legendary trainer, Hall of Fame trainer who trains Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach, had stated that while before Manny Pacquiao was linked to Terence Crawford by Bob Arum and Terence Crawford himself, Freddie Roach stated that a long time ago, once the pandemic started and the social distancing, due to Manny Pacquiao political ways and the fact that he's running for president. He had a lot to deal with in his own country of the Philippines, and that Manny Pacquiao would not be gracing the square circle until at least 2021. This was back in April. So that's confusing, right? How did Terence Crawford and Bob Arum have a deal in place to face Manny Pacquiao if indeed Manny Pacquiao had a deal in place to fight Mikey Garcia that fell through due to the pandemic and social distancing and sports being suspended, and he was, attending to the politician side of his life, and everything going on with his country with the pandemic. So he informed Freddie Roach that he was indeed not going to fight until 2021. So how could they have struck a deal for Manny Pacquiao to fight overseas against Terence Crawford? With that said, Manny Pacquiao has not even acknowledged this, nor has Manny Pacquiao's team. Manny Pacquiao has not even acknowledged Terence Crawford at all whatsoever. So this is very confusing. And Manny Pacquiao is still linked to facing off against Mikey Garcia in the early part of 2021. The WBA had informed Manny Pacquiao, who Manny Pacquiao, excuse me, has been looking to face off against UFC superstar, legendary combat athlete Conor McGregor. We know Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather did about $300 million. They earned about $300 million in their fight, crossover sports fight. And now Manny Pacquiao is looking to duplicate that, right? So Manny Pacquiao obviously is looking for big money. With that said, I cannot see Manny Pacquiao doubling back, signing with Top Rank in ESPN to fight Terence Crawford, to do a deal with them to fight Terence Crawford for anything less than the number he's been looking for, even when he was with Top Rank in ESPN. And Bob Arum was unwilling to make the fight, and Bob Arum stated that he himself blocked the fight from happening. He said that Manny Pacquiao was a good friend of his. He did not want to see Manny Pacquiao in a passing the torch fight possibly get hurt against a young, hungry superstar in Terence Crawford at Manny Pacquiao's advanced age. So, Manny Pacquiao is looking for big money. That's the reason why he's trying to make the fight with Conor McGregor. With that said, the WBA informed Manny Pacquiao if he did not fight a guy in the top 10 of their ranking system, then they would indeed strip him. Obviously, Conor McGregor only having one fight in the sport of boxing, and that being the loss, he does not fit the bill, right? So who does fit the bill? 4-division world champion superstar boxer Mikey Garcia. You got it. Mikey Garcia is number 4 in the WBA ranking system. That makes all the sense in the world as to why Mikey Garcia was linked to fighting Manny Pacquiao in 2020 prior to the pandemic and social distance sports being suspended. So this leads me to believe that a deal was never in place for Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. And this leads me to believe that Bob Arum was just satisfying Terence Crawford's thirst for a mega, massive, lucrative fight against a legend and a legacy fight. As his lawyer stated when he contacted Top Rank and Bob Arum and the big wigs at Top Rank and let them know they were not pleased with the fact that Terence Crawford has yet to secure and finalize a massive, lucrative, big money legacy fight. They stated that, right? And this was Terence Crawford's lawyer, and they said that the relationship between Terence Crawford and Top Rank was strained due to this. And I think that this there are reports that Terence Crawford is going to receive, an extra $1 million bonus if Bob Arum is not able to secure a legacy fight between Terence Crawford and undefeated, unified WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Earl the True Spence Jr. For every fight that he's not able to secure that fight, there's reports that Terence Crawford will receive an extra $1 million on top of his already guaranteed contract. So with that said, I'm of the belief that Bob Arum, satisfied Terence Crawford by letting Terence Crawford believe that a deal was in place, that, Manny Pacquiao was interested in, Manny Pacquiao had agreed to fight Terence Crawford. Prior to the Kell Brook fight, Manny Pacquiao didn't wish Terence Crawford his well wishes. After the fight, he didn't congratulate Terence Crawford. He just has not acknowledged Terence Crawford. But ironically enough, after Errol Spence defeated Danny Garcia, former 2-division world champion superstar boxer, Manny Pacquiao congratulated him, welcomed him back, and then his manager and team informed Errol Spence and obviously would be Al Heyman that they do have interest in facing Errol Spence in 2021. If he had a deal in place to fight Terence Crawford, then why would he be not acknowledging Terence Crawford at all whatsoever? Right? He didn't congratulate him. He didn't after the fight. He didn't send him his well wishes before the fight. He made no mention of Terence Crawford absolutely at all whatsoever. This leads me to believe, like I stated, that there was never a deal in place, that Bob Arum just wanted to pacify Terence Crawford at the moment because Terence Crawford was not happy. His team wasn't happy with the fact that he is yet to secure a massive, lucrative, big money legacy fight, as his lawyer stated when they sent Bob Arum and Top Rank this letter. So with that said, here we have it's just more and more things that just come out to let you know that something is not going right with Terence Crawford and his career with Top Rank. And, his lawyer also informed that they were looking forward to Terence Crawford becoming a free agent in October of 2021. Bob Arum was not happy that this was leaked. Bob Arum said that it had to come from Terence Crawford's trainer and manager, Brian McIntyre, who obviously denied and said it didn't come from him. But again, Bob Arum on Barbershop Conversations, in an interview he said it had to come. If it didn't come from Bomac, it came from somebody within Terence Crawford's camp. So it's clearly a disconnect there, and it's something is not right. And I think, like I said, Bob Arum put this information out there, probably informed Terence Crawford that this was the plan and that Manny Pacquiao had agreed to the fight. Manny Pacquiao knew nothing about it, just to pacify Terence Crawford and bridge, to flame out the flames. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.